Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really getting into the weeds on a specific piece of tech. It's the WolfPack 4K 30Hz HD base extender with IR and POE. We're going to unpack what it is, how it works, and honestly, why it's kind of a big deal for sending high-res AV signals. And just so you know, we're digging into the product specs, the descriptions, the tech docs, really trying to understand its guts.
Yeah, and it tackles a problem that's, well, it's been around forever, hasn't it? Getting really good quality video across a room or even a building without it turning into a fuzzy mess or needing insanely complex cables. What's interesting here is how this one box, or pair of boxes really, just handles it.
Okay, let's unpack this then. HD base extender. What is that fundamentally? Why do we even need one?
Right, so the basic idea is simple, really. You take your HDMI signal, from your Blu-ray player, your laptop, whatever mash, and you want to get it to a display, like a TV or projector. That's far away. This lets you do that using just a single standard network cable, like a Cat6 or Cat7 cable, the same stuff used for computer networks. Much cheaper, much easier to run than long HDMI. HDBaseT, the technology itself, it's built around integrating, they call it the 5 elements.
5 elements. Okay, what are those?
So you've got your audio and your video, obviously. That's the main payload. Then there's power over Ethernet or POE, which is super handy. Control signals like your remote control commands, IR or RS-232. And, well, the fifth element is really distance itself, the ability to push all this stuff reliably over distance.
All down one pipe, essentially.
Exactly, one Cat6 or Cat7 cable. And importantly, it sends the video uncompressed.
Ah, uncompressed. That's key for quality,
Right.
right? No lag or blocky artifacts.
Precisely. It keeps the signal pristine. So for distances, this specific WolfPack unit, it can handle 4K video at 30 hertz up to about 200 feet.
Yeah.
And if you're running 1080p, you can go even further, like 330 feet, which is 100 meters.
Okay, that single cable convenience is definitely a huge selling point. Cuts down on clutter, simplifies the whole install. But here's where I want to dig deeper. Beyond just being an HD-based extender, what makes this WolfPack model stand out? Let's break down some features.
Okay, yeah. There are some really neat things packed in. First off, resolution support is broad. It goes from standard 1080p, even at high bit depths like 60 frames per second at 48-bit color, all the way up to 4K by 2K at 30 hertz. That 4K by 2K is basically 4 times the pixels of 1080p, and it's fully compliant with the important standards, HDMI 1.4, HDCP for copy protection.
So it'll actually play protected content like movies.
Yep, HDCP compliant.
Yeah.
Plus EDID, which helps the source talk to the display correctly, and CEC, consumer electronics control so your devices can command each other, like your TV remote controlling your amp volume.
Okay, so compatibility is sorted. What about that power thing you mentioned? PoE.
PoE, power over Ethernet. This is brilliant. It means you only need one power adapter for the whole setup. You plug the included 12V supply into, say, the transmitter unit near your source device. The receiver unit, the one near your TV or projector, gets its power through the Cat6 cable.
No way. So you don't need a power outlet near the display.
Exactly. Think about mounting a projector on the ceiling or a TV on a wall where there's no easy power outlet. Huge headache removed.
That is a massive win for installers. Just run the one network cable.
Huge. And it uses that readily available, relatively cheap Ethernet cable.
What about control? You mentioned IR and RS-232.
Right. Control's covered too. It has bidirectional IR. That means you can point your source device's remote, like your cable box remote, at an IR receiver near the TV, and the command gets sent back down the Cat6 cable to the source device in the other room.
So I can change channels from the couch, even if the cable box is in a closet somewhere else.
Precisely. Or you could do the opposite, like use a universal remote near the source equipment to turn the TV on or off at the far end.
Yeah.
Bidirectional. And then there's RS-232 control.
Right.
That's more for professional setups or smart home automation systems. It basically acts like a long RS-232 serial cable, letting control systems talk to devices over that same Cat6 link.
So it really integrates things. It's not just AV.
Not at all. And get this, it even has an integrated Ethernet port.
On top of everything else. So network access, too.
Yep, provides LAN or internet access to whatever is connected at the display end, like a smart TV, maybe a game console, all over that same single Cat6 cable. It's carrying your 4K video, your multi-channel audio, power for the receiver, IR control, RS-232, and network data.
Wow, okay, that's a lot packed into one cable. And audio quality, does it compromise there?
Nope. Handles high-end audio, too. Supports multi-channel stuff like Dolby True HD, DTS Master Audio 7.1 compliant, and uncompressed audio like LPCM. So yeah, full fidelity sound alongside the high-res video.
Okay, putting it all together. We've got the distance, the quality, the power, the control, the network. But let's talk about latency. It mentions virtually zero latency. Why is that so important? What does that feel like in practice?
The latency or lack thereof, it's critical. The specs say less than 7 microseconds of delay over 220 feet. That's millionths of a second. At 100 feet, it's even less, like 3 microseconds. It's effectively instantaneous for human perception.
So imperceptible delay.
Completely. And the practical impact is huge. Think about, say, a big church or an auditorium. You've got a speaker on stage, maybe multiple screens showing their face. With zero latency, their lips on screen move exactly in sync with the sound coming out of the PA system.
Right. Avoids that weird, distracting mismatch.
Exactly. How often do we just take that perfect sync for granted until it's gone? Then it's really jarring.
That church example makes sense. Are there other places where even a tiny delay would be like a deal breaker? Maybe gaming or, I don't know, medical?
Yeah, that's a great point. Absolutely. In medical imaging, for instance, if a surgeon is looking at a live feed during a procedure, zero delay is non-negotiable. Or live broadcast. You can't have presenters out of sync, even high-level gaming, though this is 30 hertz 4K, not high frame rate, but the principle stands, latency kills the experience. It really highlights that it's not just about picture quality, it's about the timing, that real-time delivery is crucial for so many applications beyond just watching a movie.
Makes sense. It's incredibly versatile. So apart from home theaters and auditoriums, where else does this kind of solution really shine? What are the typical use cases?
The sources point to a few key areas. High-end home theater is definitely one, especially if you want equipment hidden away. Digital signage is a big one. Think retail stores, airports, corporate lobbies sending sharp video to lots of screens reliably. Hospitality hotels use this for distributing TV signals for conference rooms. And as we touched on, medical imaging, where that accuracy and zero latency are paramount. Oh, and it comes with a locking power supply connector.
Locking power. Why is that important?
For reliability, especially in those 2047 applications like signage or control rooms. It prevents the power cable from accidentally getting unplugged. Just a small thing, but critical for constant uptime. It really boils down to simplifying these complex AV setups without sacrificing performance.
Okay, it sounds incredibly capable, but also like something you need to install correctly. With all this tech running down one cable, I imagine getting the installation right is pretty important. Any key tips or warnings?
Oh, absolutely crucial. You don't want to mess up the install and then wonder why it's not working perfectly. First, stick to the distance limits. Don't try to push past that 330 feet or 100 meters for Cat67. Signal quality can drop off. Second, when you're putting the connectors on the ends of the cable terminating it, you must follow the TIA-EIA 568B standard. That's the specific color code order for the wires. Get it wrong, and it likely won't work, or work reliably.
Okay, standard wiring, got it.
And they strongly recommend using shielded Cat6 or Cat7 cable. Shielded, with metal RJ45 connectors.
Why shielded?
To protect against EMI electromagnetic interference. From power lines, fluorescent lights, other equipment. EMI can cause what they call random video flashes or picture dropouts. Shielding helps prevent them.
Right, nobody wants flashing video. Okay, shielding, standard termination, stay within distance, any big don'ts, things that could actually break it.
Yes. Big warnings here. Do not use crossover cables. Those are wired differently. Also, don't use standard Ethernet patch cords like the short ones you use for your computer to try and link things together in the middle. And definitely do not use Ethernet couplers to join two shorter Cat6 cables together to make a longer run.
Ah, so no joining cables. One continuous run.
One continuous, properly terminated run, using couplers or patch cords, the sources say, can actually damage the transmitter and receiver units. So really avoid that. Also, a troubleshooting tip. If the power light doesn't come on, double check you haven't plugged, say, the main Ethernet link into the wrong port, like accidentally swapping Ethernet and link ports if they exist. And two very specific things they warn against. Don't use EZ45 connectors. These are pass-through connectors that can sometimes cause issues. And interestingly, they say don't use patch panels for the Cat6 runs with this system. Patch panels can sometimes introduce just enough signal loss or impedance mismatch to affect performance.
Wow, okay, so direct runs, proper shielded cable, correct termination, and avoid those specific connectors and patch panels. Seems like following the instructions is key to getting that promised performance.
Absolutely. It's a high-performance system, and it relies on a good quality, correctly installed cable link to deliver.
So wrapping this up, this deep dive really shows the WolfPack HD Extender isn't just, sending video further. It's about simplifying power with POE. adding control via IR and RS-232, even network access, all over one cable, and crucially, doing it with basically zero delay.
Exactly. It's a sophisticated solution to what can be very messy, complicated problems in AV distribution. It streamlines things, improves reliability, and delivers that high quality you expect, whether it's at home or in a demanding professional setting.
It really makes you think. Next time you're considering how to get your digital signals from point A to point B, maybe across the house or across an office floor, think about this idea, this principle of a single powerful connection carrying everything seamlessly, almost instantly. How could that idea that convergence and zero latency transmission maybe change how you connect other things in your life or work, opening up possibilities you hadn't considered?